Do you like drinking espresso like this? No? Well, me neither. Super automatic coffee machines are often criticized for making coffee that is too weak, too light, with not enough body or intensity. And yes, that could be true. If it's your case, don't worry. We'll see together how to make your espresso stronger with more body, with more intensity, more like a real espresso. I'm gonna use the Delonghi MAGNIFICA, but it doesn't matter which machine do you have. The tips I'm gonna give you will work with any kind of super automatic coffee machine. Hi, I'm Colin and you are on Cafe Lista, the channel for espresso and coffee lover at home. Okay, let's go straight to the point. Our goal is to make our espresso stronger. We are going to look at 5 actions that will increase the intensity of your coffee. The first one is to increase the intensity or increase the dose of coffee. This is the easiest and the simplest way to make your coffee stronger. On super automatic coffee machine, we have usually between 3 to 5 levels of intensity. It's pretty straightforward. By increasing the intensity, we're going to increase the dose of coffee. For example, here on the Delonghi MAGNIFICA Start, we have 3 levels of intensity. Here it's simple, more coffee in the puck, more coffee extracted, and it's going to make a stronger cup of espresso. But it's usually not enough. That's why we are going to increase the temperature. Number 2, we are going to increase the temperature of the water. If you have a screen, it's going to be easy. You just need to go in settings, find where the temperature of the water is, and put it to the max level. If you have the Delonghi MAGNIFICA, you're going to have to press the setting button for a few seconds. When the lights are flashing, we're going to press the steam button, and then we're going to press the intensity. So this time it's not going to change the intensity of the coffee, but it's going to change the temperature of the water. So let's put it to the max. The more hot the water, the more coffee will be extracted. That's also why for espresso, usually when we have light roast, we are going to increase the temperature of the water. And in the opposite, if we have dark roast, we are going to lower the temperature. But for those machines, let's put it to the max. Tips number 3, grind finer. Having a finer grind is the most effective way to make our coffee stronger and more intense. But be careful here. It's also quite easy to over-extract your coffee and to have an espresso that's not going to be really good. I'll explain a bit more just after that. To grind finer, we're going to have to change the setting on the grinder. Don't forget to always change those settings when your grinder is working. And also don't forget that it's going to take a little while to really taste the results. As I said, it's the most effective way to have a stronger cup of coffee, but it's also the easiest way to have a pretty bitter coffee. If you grind too fine, the puck is going to be too dense, especially for this kind of machine. And if you start having drips, that means that your coffee grind is too fine. If the water is not flowing properly, you are going to have a pretty bad extraction. The coffee might be too acidic and too sour at the same time. Not really good. I'll suggest to do a few experiments, give it a try, see how you like it. So, we increased the coffee dose, we increased the temperature, we changed the grind settings. Now your espresso should be stronger, should have more body, but there is still one thing we could do with your machine to improve that. We are going to reduce the volume of our espresso. Super automatic coffee machine, like the Delonghi, usually come with a pre-programmed volume for your espresso. And it could be between 50 to 60 milliliters. And that could be too much, resulting in a cup that will be too watery. Here we are going to reduce the volume of water. I recommend to do some experiment between 30 to 40 grams of coffee, which will be 30 to 40 milliliters, and then try it and see what you like. On the Delonghi, when you have the right one, you press the espresso button, the light is going to start to flash, and you will press it again to stop when you have the right volume. Careful here. Reducing too much the water might also give you a cup that's not well balanced, that's not going to be really good. Number 5, changing your coffee. It's not a new setting on the machine, but changing your coffee can have a huge impact on the results in your cup. It all depends on the coffee you're using, but you could try to go with a darker roast. I'm not really advising to get those kind of really dark roasts like black beans that you can get at the supermarket. Those might give you a burnt taste. But again, taste are subjective, so just go with what you like. The more the coffee is roasted, and the more the coffee will be extracted, and the more your cup will be strong, intense, but that also can lead to a bitter coffee. What I suggest is just to apply 1 or 2 tips at a time. You can test and try to see what you like. And don't forget, here we are trying to make our espresso stronger, but the goal is to keep a well-balanced coffee. So yes, we don't want a coffee that is too acidic, too clear, too bright, without texture or crema, but we also don't want to go the opposite and have a coffee that is too strong, too bitter, So it's all a question of balance. 2 small tips to finish. Use as much as you can fresh coffee. Buying fresh coffee from a roaster, from a specialty coffee could make a huge difference in your cup. And second tips, don't forget to warm up your cup. Just put a little bit of hot water in your cup before pouring the espresso. Your espresso will be hot for longer and you will also reduce the temperature difference between the cup and the coffee. So now I have a question for you and I'm curious to know your opinion. Do you prefer an espresso that is lighter, more floral, or do you like your espresso strong and intense? You can just leave a comment down below. I read and reply to all the messages. And wait, don't leave just yet. If you're interested in making a better espresso, how to set up properly your bean-to-cup machine, if you want to drink better coffee, I recommend you watching this video. Have a great day. I'll see you next week. Ciao.